Wait and see it.
CFC.
Here we go. Here we go. Wait and see it.
CFC.
Here we go. Here we go. Therapy Army, where are you?
Here we are.
Therapy Army, where are you? Where are you?
They're here. I'll tell you that, man. There you go.
Listen, big up the Therapy Army. I'm going to go straight from this, right? First of all, we literally just finished the Straight Jacket podcast. So those of you who have not seen it yet, go over there, smash a big fat like on that, because you know why? We're doing back-to-back podcasts when it's, look at this. Look how lovely it is out there. It's sunny money. It's sunny money. We're having it. We're absolutely having it.
We're having it. Big up.
I got my hat in it. You know, like I could be in a Caribbean cruise in it. All I want is Therapy Army. Get that cigar out and toast the first one. Smoke to the first signing of Man United, which could be Simmer Frame.
Hey, respect to that name.
Ericsson. Come in and listen.
Big up on his name. Yeah, big up.
Chill, man. Chill.
But seriously, it's a lovely day out there. We, all of us, Tom could be out on the beer. Me and Saeed could be on the shisha things, you know what I mean, on the road. Yeah. And going for a nice walk in the park or whatever. Chilling out, enjoying the sun. So please, smash a like on the video. Go over to Saeed's channel. Watch that podcast. Link will be underneath. I'm going to put the link. Saeed, please put the link on your phone. Put the link to Straight Jacket underneath, right?
Sweet.
And you do that, right? So go and watch that, because we talked about things about Saeed. The title of his show was Let's Talk More Action, and we discussed that, right? But here today on tonight's show, people, to coming up for you, we're going to be talking about all Man United FC related news. But the biggest thing, what large chunk of this, we're going to concentrate on two things. We're going to concentrate, the first one, which I've been alluded to by Saeed and other people on Twitter, is the fallout in the fan base from the Richard Dotty Arnold interview. I'm going to break it down for you guys, how PR works, okay? I'm going to break it down for you guys, right? We're going to go into that. And then we're also going to discuss how, even after Paul Pogba's gone, right, certain journalists can't let it go. Let it go. Come on, Tom.
Let it go.
Let it go. Let it go.
They don't want to let it go. They don't want to
let it go, people. Trust me. You know what? We're gonna rename this channel, innit? Karaoke therapy. You know,
carpool therapy. Carpool therapy.
Carpool therapy. That's the one. Carpool therapy.
Come on, Tom. Say that again.
Carpool therapy. There we go.
There we go. Carpool therapy. That's what we are, man. So please smash a like on the video. Big up to everybody. Khalees, while you ready, bro? Big up Khalees, chief reporter of United Real Therapy. Big up Tenno. Big up Alien Tenno. Alien Tenno is now, people. Breaking news. It's official. Alien Tenno has been in exile, but he's now back with a bang at Saeed TV. Saeed, have you got you got something to say officially from your side about why Alien Tenno was banned?
Alien Tenno, man, you know what I mean? I thought he was being a bit dodgy with the Richard Arnolds and whatnot, but it seems to me, man, something's gone wrong, man. We need to have a word with the Alien Tenno. What's going on, Alien Tenno?
Listen, Saeed, did he catch a stray bullet from you? Did he just go out on a
boom, straight out, man, no messing.
Hey, listen, Saeed misfired right, left, and center. Alien Tenno was a victim of that, but now he's back officially on Saeed TV because Saeed
is back in exile.
So if anybody else who's been banned from Saeed TV, Saeed will get you back, mate. Don't worry. All right.
Yeah.
Saeed's just had a couple of people try to spam him.
Spammers, man. Them spammers, mate.
And you know what? And you know what? When Saeed's taking action in it, he's a bit careless with the action, and then too many people caught those stray bullets. But anyway, welcome, Tom. So first of all, Saeed, how are you, bro?
Yeah, not too bad, man. Not too bad, man. It's been a good weekend. You know what I mean? Chilled out. You know what? It's strange without football. Like this summer, for the first time in a while, we've not actually had no football. Like, you know, we've had a bit of Euro Nations, but other than that, now we've got a quiet, you know, I would say maybe too quiet because certain fan base are coming at people's doors, and we'll speak about that. But yeah, man, other than that, been good, man. It's nice weather outside, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah, man. Big up. Tom, how are you, bro? Are you?
Yeah.
How is it? Is it sunny in Yorkshire? Are we having it in Yorkshire?
No, I'm not in Yorkshire. I'm not in Yorkshire today.
Hey,
Yorkshire.
you're in Yorkshire tonight.
I've gone down south from Canary Wharf, London.
Canary Wharf, London, you know.
Hey, better watch out, because Tom's about the canary and the wolf. hey, better watch out. Tom, what are we drinking in Canary Wharf? I know the price is a bit pricey there, lad. What's a bit pricey? Just a little bit pricey, pal. It's a bit pricey up there, isn't it?
Nah, it's work related, so it's only water.
Oh,
only water.
Yo, big up.
He's on the
Are you
water.
hearing Tom? What Tom really means is he's on the company credit card.
I've got enough credit cards.
Oh gosh! When you use that tab, wisely.
Yeah.
So Tom, but generally, how is it looking in Canary Wharf from where you're sitting? How is it looking?
Yeah, it's brilliant. Weather-wise and everything, brilliant.
Yeah, you having a good day? Have you had a good day, bro?
Yeah. It's not been bad anyway.
Yo, big up, man. Like chief,
Big up, man.
Reporter. Big up to all the usuals in it. King KP. You know what? Fabio. Big up, man. Big up Logan. Big up all of them. Raz, Alien Tenno. Nuruddin, here we go. Nuruddin, Arnold bought me a pint and I'm now pregnant.
Oh, gosh, man.
That's how mad it is, bro. That is how mad it is. Seriously. That is how mad it is, bro. Honestly. You know what? That's how mad it is, isn't it? Honestly, it's crazy in some ways. But you know what? We love it. It is summer. For me, what have I been doing? I've been out dancing. Music is my medicine. Trust me. Good music is my medicine. So Friday, I went to African Oye, celebrating African culture. Brilliant day out. Saw some great bands. Came back to Manchester Lake. Just about got the last train, people. I was going to get stuck in the pool, you know. I'm telling you. Dino Mike? Is that Dino Mike? Like that, and like, what are you doing, Paul? Old type Paul, man. But honestly, he's in the crowd fighting. Like, is that Dino Mank? And like, I could hear on the earshot. Like, I turned around and it's like, oh, it's the Scouse boys, innit? When I used to play football with them, they used to go, come head, lad, come head, square it.
Square it, lad, square
And I used to say, do you mean pass it across? And they go, no. Square it! So shout out to the boys, did it? Shout out, man. Shout out to the boys. Listen, I love Liverpool as a city. I got, like, you know what I mean? I got relations there. I got a lot of even like the history of my family, like my relatives coming there early days, you know, in the early 60s, late 50s. So yeah, big up to all the Liverpool people, yeah. But it's a beautiful festival. So then Sunday, my brethren Airpan was playing at Frere Island. So I put the thing on Facebook. If you follow me on Facebook, you already saw the thing. So I've been dancing and I've just been enjoying myself. Because you know what? Man United are not there to ruin my weekend. No longer 3 weekends, people. Man United are not there to dictate me, mate. So I've been enjoy yourselves. Enjoy yourselves. I've been enjoying myself. I ain't gonna lie.
Man, you got to.
I mean, I swear to God, I've had plans to do more shows and everything, but it's been every other. I'm getting invited to this, a barbecue, a party, everybody's birthdays are all falling. I'm just getting invited out every night, coming to this, coming to that. And you know what? When I was in lockdown, man like me felt caged. So now I just say yes. I never say no. Everyone invites me anywhere. Yes. all I'm saying, all you hear me going is,
I'm
where
there.
are we going? So that's the type of time
you're funny, man.
I just wanted to give you some context to where I've been. But love to you. Honestly, music is my medicine. Good music is my medicine. And I've been trying to get it because for 2 and a bit years, people, I didn't get it. And it hurt me, people. Trust me. It hurt me.
I heard that.
It's my therapy. Genuinely, I'm not going to lie to you guys. It's my therapy. I don't just need it. It's essential. I need it. I need it to stay sane. So whether Man United are playing or not, I need that. I need to be with my people. I need to be feeling my music. And I need to be just raving. I need to be listening to incredible live music. So give you a bit of context, people. But big up. Please smash a like. Here we go. 99 people watching. 35 likes. Get those likes up, people. Get that up. Exactly. You know what?
Get it up.
Get him up. Come on, people.
Luke man just said it in it. Big up Luke man. So let's get into it, people. Let's get into it. So let's talk about the fallout from the Richard Arnold in accordance to the fan base. So the first two questions I'm going to ask you. I'm going to ask you two questions each. I'm going to start with Tom. Tom, when you saw that, how did you feel? What was your initial reaction? Secondly, Saeed, I'm going to come to you. Have you seen the fallout? Then I'm going to come back to you, Saeed, and you're going to answer what your initial feelings were. So go ahead, Tom.
Okay.
I was, to be honest with you, I was kind of surprised with how it was handled, really, because it looks very like he's gone there off his own back. He's obviously had consultation with somebody. I think he'd be stupid if he went in there in the dark, let's be honest. If he didn't a security personnel or an official
no. Tom,
where he's going.
Context. Tom, I want to give context.
Yeah, go on.
Police fans and at least 8 or 9 police officers there outside the pub. So just know this, yeah?
Yeah. I mean, like, if we're talking, like, next to him or whatever. So, like you said before about swinging punches or things like that is where I'm going with the context of it all. But for him to have been notified, because somebody's obviously grasped, haven't they? Or so they've been tipped off anyway that, you know, he's going to have some problems outside his house or whatever, which I think you establish it where you have a working life and you have a personal life and you don't mix the two of them. So you can work all you want, go and protest at Carrington, go and protest at Old Trafford, protest wherever you want, or let your views heard like we do on fan channels and stuff, is where you do it. But don't go and attack somebody's family or go and cause fear or violence where you're letting off flares or you're chanting very loudly. You have kids in the window or wives or whatever. That's your personal life. You don't involve that with work. So in terms of the match, what they were planning on doing, him having to come out of his comfort zone, out his family zone, should we say, because he was at home, to then go down there, regardless of if he's got police or security team at all. I've got to be honest, I respect what he did, because a lot of people wouldn't have done that. A lot of people would have just got the police vans outside their house and have done with it and isolated his family away from it all. So you have to respect him for actually going down there and speaking to the fans. And with everything that he went in contact with, where he said about, you know, the amount of money that they've spent, about predecessors, about the ownership, I don't understand the point where people associate with, did he know he was being filmed or didn't he? I think if he walked in there knowing that he potentially wouldn't have been filmed or somebody's not taking notes, I think he's stupid, to be honest with you. Even if it wouldn't have been leaked or the video wouldn't have been leaked, it just provides the proof that you can't say that, I went to a pub and I met Richard Arnold and had some pints. People would think, well, you've had some pints, so you're pissed up. There you go. So why should we believe you? So by doing that with a video and it leaking out, he's given us a bit of backstory to it all and everything. And even with everything that he said in the actual, should we say, I guess you'd call it an interview, sit down, whatever, with the football fan, with the supporters, where he's voicing his own opinions, where he says, we burnt through cash. The way how I saw it from my journalistic point of view was he didn't go there, quoted up, professional, suited up, nothing. It was off the cuff, and if you like, it was a bit of from the heart. Because if you're talking and trying to be geographically and politically correct, you're not swearing for a fact in the interview. You're not raising your voice, and you're not going to be, we burnt through cash. We've done this. You're not going to be stuttering. You're not going to be nervous under the pressure of it all. And by doing that and saying what he said, I think has now opened the door for, if you like, you want consultation with football fans, you've had it. Regardless of if it's not you personally, a select few of Manchester United fans have had that opportunity to express the whole group's opinion, and everybody's in agreement that the Glazer family is a terrible dictatorship of our football club. So they've put that forward to the chief executive officer now, in charge of Manchester United, who, is the stooge who sits underneath the ownership, but you've put it to the highest person that you can who lives in this country, which is Richard Arnold. You can't do it with the Glazer family because they never come here. They don't live in the UK. So you put it to the highest person that you can. And all we can say is that is all you can do. We don't have the powers that be to go in there and exterminate people out of roles or jobs or anything like that. He's listened to the concerns. And like we said, talk is cheap. Actions speak louder than words. And if he wants to act like we've said about it, I'm sure we'll get onto about stuff like transfers, negotiations, and stuff. We need to act. I have seen, some of these clubs already have got their business done, and we're only a week into the window. Some of our rivals have got their transfer business done in a week. But this is Manchester United Football Club after all. And what are we? We're a documentary. That's all we are.
Yeah.
But that's what I take from anyway. I think you're on mute, Nuruddin.
Yeah, you're on mute, Nuruddin.
Saeed, first initial reaction when you saw it, and then what the fallout was from the fans. How
I think
moving.
My initial reaction was shock because I was like, wow, you know what I mean? Man United fans with Richard Arnold, how's that happened? You know what I mean? And how did they find out that he was there and where his house was? And then I realized that he came to the pub to them, and then the kind of situation of, him speaking to the fans and him being open and honest for what he said, even though I still believe a lot of the things he said we all knew. Like we all knew the training ground shit. We all knew that there's money to spend. Always there's money to spend on Man United. It's just like we do it wrongly. I think for me, my initial reaction was a bit kind of like, it was a bit strange, because he was saying the problems on Man United, but also not kind of like saying that he was involved. He was almost like shifting the blame onto people, like other people that were at the football club, notably Ed Woodward. He's talking about, he tried to take ownership, the fact that saying, oh, I know you guys don't like the Glazers, I know you guys doing protests and whatnot, and we understand what you kind of like, we get you basically. But then it was almost as if for me, like, I didn't really take anything from it other than the fact that we've at least now, Nuruddin, had some sort of like, when they say, when in politics, when what is the kind of word when a kind of country comes out to speak, when
better late than never.
Yeah, basically, yeah. And I thought that was it. That was better late than ever. The initial fallout was a bit even funnier.
You're on mute.
Sorry?
Listen, we've had a communication from the CEO of Manchester United.
Yeah, the line of communication. That's the biggest thing I took from it. The only thing I didn't like what Tom said was going to people's houses. Does that kind of like derail any communication in the long run? I think it does. Do they lose the trust of the fans? A little bit. I think, will we have more time to speak to owners more than ever? Will they be now locked in now? Will they kind of like be told that, you got to leave house, or, you got to kind of like, not speak to fans? We don't want to kind of like, it's almost as if like, we want to make it sure that, we just don't speak to fans basically, and they become robots. That's the issue that I thought maybe could the credibility of the fans be damaged. But in terms of the fallout, it was funny, man, because there was a lot of hearsay evidence, which I didn't like. Pogba, being the leak, certain things being said in terms of 200 million. He didn't really say we have 200 million. He just said there are money out there to spend. So in terms of the actual kind of fallout, I thought it was all a bit of a comical. Again, it links into the comical FC. What you say, Nuruddin, we are comedy. Every single thing that came out of that situation, everything was manipulated. But you're gonna get that because you know what? In this football club right now, everything is easily you could easily kind of like spin things in a different narrative, and almost the people can feel sorry for him. That's the narrative a lot of people took from it. It was like, well, he's come out and he's done this, fair play. When reality, I understand that, but also don't forget what they've done. You can forgive, but you can't forget. And I think a lot of people are easily, are forgetful that, this guy is the same guy, by the way, people, that was in the negotiations or was in the kind of conference room. You were part of it. So you are basically one of the culprits. So end of the day, you have got a different role. I understand you have your own vision, but also, guys, this guy was with Ed Woodward when he was. You're telling me that Richard Arnold didn't make an idea to Woodward for him make the final decision? Of course, they were all friends coming from the same university. So that's my my opinion on the actual initial and the fallout, Nuruddin.
All right, Tom, what do you think about the fallout before I come in and give my 2 pence?
I think the fallout from it all, what we can take is, like you both just agreed on and just said, and I completely agree, is that the communication line has been open. Whether it's going to be damaged or not because of it being recorded or because of situations like where you're threatening to turn up to people's house. I know they didn't actually turn up to his house in the end. They was planning to. But even by doing that, I think, like, I go back to what I said, to have turned up in the way that he did, where he went off his own back. It wasn't like he had men in suits around him or anything like that. Yeah, you have police there for protection. You're a high-ranking, financially wealthy man. I should think you do have that. Everybody in the right man, if you've got finances to protect yourself, you're going to do it at the end of the day. Or if you're going to, people make threats on Twitter, and I'm sure some of those football fans will have said some things in the past about the ownership that they don't like, and then it might have gone a bit over the top and extreme. You've got to protect yourself at the end of the day. The man's got a family, he's got kids, he's got wife. So you should protect yourself in that era. But by leaving the communication line open and doing what he did, and I think especially because of the timing of it as well, where you're coming out with some of the quotes that you say where we've got negotiators in Barcelona. But some of the things that I don't like is when he talked the numbers. I didn't like when he talks about, like, we've burned nearly £1 billion on the train. And when you go to that training pitch, I don't know where it is and things like that. Because you can perceive it's what we all want to hear. But if you're a rival at a rival club, if I'm Joan Laporta, for example, at Barcelona, and I'm seeing that you've got £200 million to spend, happy days. I can get me 85 million that I want for Frankie de Jong. If I'm any football club in the world, I see that as a bargaining tool in negotiations. So you can send people to Barcelona and negotiate all you want, Richard. But you have just opened a massive can of worms. Well, we've just heard you say you've got 200 million. So you've told your supporters one thing and you're telling us another. You're on video. You were on film. If that got showed in a courtroom, he'd be convicted easily. So at the end of the day...
How long's he been here, this guy? How long's Richard Arnold been at the football club?
I think he came in at a similar time to... Did he come in at a similar time to Ed Woodward or a couple of years after?
No, I think he's been here since 2009, I think. Sorry, 2013.
Oh, so he's been here... Yeah, almost pretty much the same as Woodward.
So he didn't have any say in terms of that not transfer, in terms of the training ground. He wouldn't have any say.
No. So he was... I think his main role was the commercial guy, marketing guy. Bringing commercial revenue.
Yeah, he did like merchandising and stuff like that. Probably.
So don't get it twisted. He was a senior member of Manchester United board. You can Google it. If you Google Manchester United board now, you can see it. But anyway, Holgate Bam TV. I can't even say that. Holgate Bam. Is it? Boom.
Yeah.
Holgate Bam TV. Big up. Nobody criticizes the fan who's turned up at Wayne Rooney's house after he put in a transfer request back in the days. But somehow, protest outside Richard Arnold's has crossed the line. Listen to me. To me, I don't know what their intentions were, but if they're Man United fans, they're going to be super stupid, right? Stop making rattling noises and come here. Come here, you. You're getting big. Show people. By the way, they won now. They're the nearly one.
Happy birthday.
They're one now. It was their birthday.
Happy birthday, then.
Look at the little rascal. Basically, those fans didn't turn up to cause any harm to his children or to his family. They went to get their voices heard. In protest movement, it's called direct action. And what they did was they doorstepped him. They are not here planning to do some craziness. And I want you to all research what happened at Ed Woodward's house at that time.
That was a bit dodgy.
That was too far.
The Sun newspaper guy was there already before the protest turned up. At the end of the day, they did what they did. Nobody condones any violence against anybody. You will not get any Man United supporter who's condemning any violence against any of the members of our board or even the owners, regardless how much we dislike them. But we have a right to voice our frustrations, our concerns, and to want them out. At the end of the day, for me, to give my 2 pence fully, this was one of the best PR that they ever had. This is one of the best PR that is ever had. Ever. At the end of the day, the idea that as soon as he found out that these guys were going to come to his neighborhood and protest outside his house, because that's what they were going to do. They weren't going up to his kids. They weren't endangering. And like Tom said, this guy is a CEO of one of the most famous sport.
He's been made a millionaire out of this club.
Yeah.
Let's get it straight. He's made millions off of our club.
Yeah, exactly. So he's one of the one of the wealthiest and he's got one of the most high-profile jobs in world football, right? So the idea that Man United fans can get into his house and do whatever is ludicrous to me. And if any of them had any of that intention, then that would just destroy whole of the protest movement. At the end of the day, they took some direct action. He got a wind of it. He decided to meet them on a pub. But none of you are telling me, Therapy Army, this is where I'm going to have to fill the gaps. I'm sorry. It's only my opinion, by the way. It's only my opinion that he did not contact his communication department at Man United, and that he was not giving some talking points to make him sound more relatable. Cool. We're not here for this, people. I'm going to dissect this bit by bit to make him sound relatable. Even from what he wore, he could have put on a white shirt. No, he went with a t-shirt to make him like he's one of the lads. And that's why I got the bottle. Cheers, lads. Lovely day, isn't it?
Olive juice, yeah. It's true.
You know what?
When you look at it,
that is where we are, people. That's where we are. Communication department sorted out. Talking points given to him, making him sound more relatable. He's got a whole team that just works for him. Forget anybody else. He's the CEO of Man United. He has a team that work for Richard Arnold. Advisors, PR merchants, Neil Ashton being his top one. Neil is like, don't wear a shirt. Don't wear a tie. Get out there. Get that short sleeve done. Get that short sleeve done, lad. Get in there and get a couple of pints to show them you're not a weak lad. You can drink them all under the table. Get in there, lad. That's what was done. Second of all, the idea that the police were already outside, so when people go, oh, he came and faced them up. Listen, yes, I agree with Tom. You have to give credit where credit's due. Even if he's using PR, even if he's using PR, he at least came and fronted up, because we never hear from the family that own our football club. We never hear from Joe Glazer. Unless journalists do what? Doorstop them. And only when a journalist doorstep them, right, that some of them will talk and some of them will not decide to talk. So this is what we're talking about. They live in America, like Tom said.
They're not approachable. They're not approachable. They're not approachable assets.
He's the guy in the hot seat. He's the guy who's in the hot seat at this moment in time. And I'm sorry to say, nobody's put a bullet or a gun to his head and said, you know what? You're going to be the CEO. You're forced to do this. If I always say, and people go, nah, you can't say that. If I go and decide to do a job and I know what that job entails, that job is going to entail a lot of aggro, a lot of anger, a lot of frustrations. I know I'm putting myself in harm's way because this football club, there are fans who love this football club, mate. They see it as a religion. To them, it's religion. Now, I'm not condoning any of them doing any violence. Nobody's giving God right to go and insult, to go and assault somebody, to go and hate somebody. But people have the right to let you know that you are part of a regime that's a dictatorial that is running our football club into the ground. And that's what it's done. But anyway, I'll go up to bit by bit. Anyway, here we go. Right?
Yeah, let's see the comments. Let's see the comments.
Yeah, Arnold here. He says here, I'm not here to defend Joe Glazer, protesting fans. We must speak to it. So they'll come here to make your views known. And I respect that. So we respect him for that. 2, 3, 4 things can be true at the same time. But ain't nobody telling me that he knew that he wasn't being recorded. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me?
I think there was a guy. Was there not a guy on a space, Nordin?
Where everybody's got this. Everybody has got this in the population. Man United fans have come to protest. Saeed, how are they going to tell people they were going to protest? And same with Tom. Oh yeah, guys, we went to protest Richard Arnold. And then we went to the pub afterwards. Lads, he went to the pub. He didn't go protest anybody. Well, every United fan on that there is carrying one of these. This people is not just a phone. It's a recording device. So the idea that poor Richard Arnold didn't know, poor Richard didn't know that United fans might be like.
Did he go to university then? If he didn't, if he didn't think that,
he went to Bristol University.
Yeah, well, that's what I mean. So he didn't know that he was going to be recorded.
So the idea of that, I just want to dismiss that big one. The idea that he, Saeed and Tom and the therapy army, that it wasn't going to be recorded. It's the biggest hole of waffle I've ever heard. That's my opinion. You have your opinion. Everybody, I respect everybody's opinions. But that to me, a man in that position with a team that do everything by calculation in terms of what's been putting out to the public is telling me that he didn't know whether there's a voice recording of him or there's a video recording of him. It's laughable. It's get the hell out of here with that talk. The naivety is the levels of naivety you're showing there.
Is it worrying for you that people are actually
incredibly worrying, Saeed, that people are that naive. That people are that naive. I swear to you, it's worrying that people are that naive. Please smash up the like. There's 167 of you here. Subscribe to the channel. And most importantly, smash that effing like on the video, people. It's sunny out here. We could be doing something else. We're here to talk about and unpack the fallout, what happened with Richard Arnold interview. And for me, I'm always, as a United fan, always going to support people who protest, who show their dissatisfaction of a sham of a show, the comedy club that we are. We are the laughing stock of world football. We hold that crown. So any fan is going to try to do something about it, I'm going to wholeheartedly support them. Wholeheartedly. But I'm not supporting anybody being violent or anybody being beating people up or anybody scaring children or families. I'm not about that. We have every right. Nobody's forcing a gun to his head, telling him to be the CEO of Man United.
And he also could have left. He could have left as well. So
yeah, he could have done. Yeah.
Exactly. So we can give credit that he fronted up because the Glazers won't. Right. We can give him that. But what I can't give exactly, and this another goes well. And then I'm gonna bring in now my conspiracy theory. I'm gonna bring in my so that was my honest opinion. My conspiracy theory is he needed a bit of PR. And what would you say? There are some United fans, Saeed will tell you, we've met them, we've seen them, who at times try to act in best behalf of the Glazers. We've seen it. They've tossed
they're the ones that came up to us that time, already, all ballied up and that. I asked them the question. I said, "Do you work for the Glazers?" And yeah, they didn't answer. They didn't really give me a kind of a question. They just almost smiled. You don't know what kind of fan you're gonna be.
You don't know. Listen to me. All I know, when Woodward's home was attacked. The Sun journalist was there already, already there, right, to capture it all. And who's Neil Ashton? Neil Ashton worked at the Sun, News of the World, and for Murdoch. Do they do PR where they set things up? Yes, they do. So I'm just putting it out there. And Nick here is just some of us. That's the fallout. We're gonna cover the full spectrum of the fallout. Nick there is bringing a different angle. This looks staged, and that's a healthy thing to have as well. So we move on. Okay, and I'm not here to defend Joe Glazer. Protest fans must speak. You must speak to him yourself. You have to come here and make your views, and I respect that. So we're bigging up for that.
Yeah, we're giving that.
We are blowing away an enormous amount of money for this summer. We're blowing an enormous amount of money for this summer. The money, the manager and the director of football one is there. So that's him there. That's him putting it.
So always has been.
Exactly. That's him always putting himself in the thing, right? So there we go, people. There we go. That's my 2 pence. But all things can be true. All things can be true. Bristol bankers have no honor. Rats, all of them. Yo,
absolutely,
that's your views, well.
But they're the ones that are in charge of the football club. When you look at in terms of footballing wise, the Glazers are just the owners. The guys who are running it
they run the operations.
Yeah, they run operations. Yeah,
exactly. And listen, and Super Nick, big up Super Nick. A CEO of a smaller organization will never do this. Why the hell would you risk it? Because it was staged and he was never in danger. Of course, he wasn't in danger, Nick. He wasn't in danger because two police vans were outside. There was police outside. And none of these United fans, if they were, like I said, United fans, like the ones who did this, right? We're going to give them the benefit of the doubt. Like the most they could have done is swing at him. That's it. And they would have got arrested straight away. So we'll put that to rest anyway. I just want to get to the super chat.
By the way, these 1958 guys, man, they're a bit dodgy. One of them's had to leave because of racist remarks. So for me, I don't really give credit to these 1958 crew. Each of their own.
Oh, we go. Save me, Assis.
Oh, here we go. He's on the gas. Here we go.
I told you, man.
For weeks, mate. Here we go. Let me read it one by one. Rafinha, Jesus Martinelli, Venus Jr. Get ready for the Samba football at where? At where, Zayn? Samba football for Brazil or Samba football for Arsenal?
I was going to say Brazil, yeah.
We're a bit confused. Saying you're going to have to qualify that. Is it at Arsenal or the Gunners? Because if you're moving like that then, man, it's going to be a mad one for your season, mate. If you get those players...
The documentary's gone late. It's already ended, the documentary.
Listen, I think you're in London. I think you've been in the sun for far too long, and you've just added Vinicius Jr. in there. Zane, I think the sun's got to you today. But yeah, Rafinha could be a possibility. Jesus could be a possibility. But Vinicius Jr., I think you got a bit too giddy there, lad. You are getting a bit too giddy. I think the sun has got to you. And I think you need some water and some food. Because Vinicius Jr., his buyout clause are 100 million. And Arsenal don't have that lying around, pal. But anyway, big up. And the other thing I just wanted to say as well is the fans, Saeed. Some of the fans have now concluded themselves because they have their own agendas. Because when he was asked, when Richard Arnold was asked, Richard Arnold said specifically, Saeed, that the two people who were leaking have now left the club. And then some fans have put 2 and 2 together and said, oh, Jesse Lingard and Paul Pogba were. Paul Pogba was never a leader.
Was he just saying that just because he was in the moment and that was a kind of a pressure
No,
question?
But Saeed, at the end of the day, listen to me. All I'm saying to you, Richard Arnold went there with his talking points. He got across what he did. He distanced himself like most people do who run organizations. The people before, even though Richard Arnold's making it out like he was a fly on the wall. He sat on the board when Woodward, your boy, who brought you into this organization, by the way, was doing a madness. You are part of it. You do not divorce yourself from it. Is that me and you, Tom, Saeed? We're running something, yeah? Saeed is the CEO. Saeed goes and does madness, but we're telling him constantly, Saeed, you can't do that, can't do it. And then we all go, oh, yeah, we had nothing to do with it. It was all Saeed.
He came out his mouth. He was there.
It was all my fault.
He was on camera, not us.
Exactly. So you're not going to get this level of analysis and unpacking. Like I said to you, I'm open to all because 3-4 things can be true at the same time. I always want to repeat my personal opinion, that Richard Arnold came prepared. Richard Arnold even underdressed to try and make so he can blend in. Richard Arnold is naive, thinking that he wasn't going to be recorded. And Richard Arnold come out with a lot of waffle that I've heard marketing speak, that I've heard before already. And you can't protest because we need to get people for the trade. Listen, 17 years they did Silt to the training ground. Silt to the stadium. So all of a sudden, you're in charge. You've been on the board. You work for these people. And they're going to put money in now. Nah, mate. But anyway, I'll let Saeed and Tom rebut on anything I said. And we'll go to the comments as well.
I think you're spot on, man. I think most of us. Yeah. I just feel like for me, it's the fine line between, kind of.
Hold it right there. Save me after back with a reply. Tan Shark would fail. You will end up with Southgate. We will get Vieira down the line as bad.
He also replied back to you.
A round of applause. Come on, you gotta give it him.
Give him a round of applause.
Listen, you can come better than that. Better than that, my friend. I can give you a couple of adjectives about your Spanish manager, but I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna keep it classy here because it's a United channel. But your super chats are welcome. Thank you so much, brother. But remember what I said. Get some water, get some food, and the dream about Vinicius Jr., put that to bed. It was a moment you got caught up in it. I understand, but put that one to bed. But every other signing might be a possible. But I can say we can all say a lot of things about your manager, but we will see. Go ahead, Saeed. Sorry.
Yeah, no, I just think for me there's a fine line between PR and honesty, and I feel like for me, he was almost like he was sitting on the fence, man. He was almost like trying to give us a bit of honesty, but also say, right, it's nothing to do with me. I'm the new guy here. I'm the new face. I'm the new cover. So I generally think for me, I didn't like the kind of shifting the blame when, again, you've been part of the mess. You know what I mean? As much as, yes, Woodward was a very, very, very bad CEO and, was one of a kind, I generally think, these three bankers are the guys who have been running the football club for the last 3 years. So even commercial reasons, we talk about the football club having the commercial side of it over the football. You've been part of that before your role. You had that as your role. So did you kind of have that in mind? Did you think that, we're gonna prioritize that over football? Again, that's the questions I would have with him.
Exactly. And we don't know how. I still not seen. I've been researching it, people. I've still not seen how long they were spent, many more questions that were answered. Because even now, the 1958, some of them are falling out. People who are part of that organ are falling out because the fallout. Some of them are falling out because some of them have been accused of try to get popularity on social media, get followers. One of them, he had about 4,000. Now he's got 12,000 or 13,000. Like, what I mean, followers. Posted a video. So at the end of the day, when I put all of that aside, the infighting aside, I will always support anybody who wants to get rid of the Glazers. I might not agree with all your tactics. I might not agree with you fully on other things to do with the football club, but you will always have my support because the end goal is to get the vultures out. Big up Georgie, man. Ed ran the football matters, to be fair. Yeah, I understand that, Georgie B, right? Big up Georgie B, brother. A lot of love and light and respect. I'll say this. The board make decisions together, though. Manchester United is run because the board is there for a reason. And Richard Arnold is an active member and a really close friend of Ed Woodward. So the way he was making it out, it was all Ed. I don't buy it, bro. I don't buy it. The board will vote on the bigger decisions. I think Saeed's stuck, so hopefully he'll be removed and he'll come back. Oh, he's back now. He's back.
Yeah.
Anyway, Ashton's about. So that's what it is.
Ashton never left us. This postcode, he's never left a postcode, man. He's never left a postcode.
Anyway, but go ahead, Tom. Go ahead. Get your 2 pence. I might react to what I was saying.
No. I probably completely agree, to be honest with you. I mean, at the end of the day, you can see it for what it was. You can tell that it was a bit of honesty because of the demeanour and the manner in which he answered the questions. Like I said before about the swearing and the persona, but then you can also take it from a PR point of view with what you said, Nuruddin, where you said about his dress sense. The way that he come across in terms of actually trying to ask the questions, the naivety to not think, even if they didn't do it, nobody was going to believe them if they didn't film it. I'm sorry, you cannot come here and say that you were at a pub with Richard Arnold and somebody would have believed you if you didn't have a picture or have a video. You're at a pub. What are you going to be doing at a pub? Drinking. So at the end of the day, nobody would have believed them if they didn't have posted a photo or a video. With it being leaked, I guess it's given us a bit of a understanding of who is actually in football operations as a human, from a human element. But like you said, Nuruddin, we don't need to be jumping the gun over this and everything. And like I already said before about with who the actual dictators of all this are, the people who we want to speak to are not within reach. They are not a viable asset that you can talk to, that you can protest against outside their house or outside one of their major business opportunities out in America. You can't go and do that. You can't go and do that at Palm Beach with Avram Glazer, like the female journalist did when the Super League was going on, and he refused to speak to her. But then he spoke to Paul Kelleher of Sky News about the financials of the football club, about how Ten Hag and we always have the money to buy new players and all this, that, the other. In that short little clip with Avram Glazer, did he not pretty much say the same things that Richard Arnold did? Yeah, the money is always there to buy new players.
It's scripted. It might be scripted. You know what? That's true. That's a good point there, Tom. You make
because
he did say that.
It was the last quote that he said.
Yes, big up, brother.
Big up,
everybody. Big up, CM.
Big up, CM, man. How you doing, CM? Old Trafford's looking a bit cloudy over Old Trafford tonight.
Yeah,
this evening. Big up, man. Listen, George, we're just talking about the fallout. Welcome, CM. We're just talking about the fallout of the Richard Arnold interview. Talk to us what you heard and what you think have been the fallout. So we want your 2 pence on your first initial and then reaction to yourself, and then what the fallout in terms of the fan base. Because there's been the fan base as like every time when we see one thing, it's a human thing. To be fair, I'm not just blaming the fans. We could all see the same thing, but all all see some things. We can all watch the same thing and take away different things. As human beings, that is just a thing about human beings, because when we watch something or when we hear something, we all bring our own thing to it as well. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So what was your initial reaction? And then what do you think the fallout has been if you've been paying any attention? Big up, bro.
I thought the whole situation with him being videoed and speaking to those guys at the pub, it was all weird. It didn't sit right with me, but at the same time, I saw some of the reactions of people on social media kind of praising him. And I don't know what for, to be honest, because if we, admit, not even that long ago, a lot of people have been complaining about, the work not being done so far in this transfer window and things not really being put in place. And I just feel like at times we can overreact in situations where, in my opinion, he was saying a whole lot of nothing. Now, of course, there are some certain things that will sound nice on the air in terms of him saying how we've burnt through money, which is something we already knew. We already know about the failures of the board and previous regimes. But what we don't know now,
the board that he was part of, CM, more important.
He was a member, yeah.
The board that he was part of.
But what we don't know is how these guys are gonna try and rectify all of the errors that have been made. So for me, I don't want to put any kind of praise on him when, in my opinion, he didn't really say anything. Actions speak louder than words for me. If we come out of this transfer window and we get the relative signings and it seems that we're going in the right direction, then you can start to say, all right, something may have changed, their methods to how they approach transfer windows and how they try to improve this team as a whole, the culture within the club. Maybe something's changed, but for me, it's no different than it was 1 week ago, 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. It's waiting for something to happen.
And we're easily pleased, isn't it? I think that he makes a good point. We do get easily pleased because we're seeing things that are basics, I'm sure Man City have board meetings and things that they do with the fans and whatnot that we might not see. And also, they're accessible. Guardiola sees them. Khaldun Mubarak is at every City game. Their chairman is at every City game. When is our chairman? When is our kind of, what they do is they're very clever. They put Alex Ferguson and David Gill there so then they can give you that feeling of, we've got representatives there. You don't really need us.
We've got the ambassadors.
You've got the godfather of Man United. You know what I mean? The guy who's basically made Man United relevant for the last 25 years. Obviously, we had Busby Babes as well. In our time, Alex Ferguson is the face of Man United. So that's why they've done it. Clever.
I think CM sums it up. CM, I didn't ask how you were. How are things in London? How you're balling out because degree done. You know what I mean? When's your graduation?
I'm thinking probably towards the start of the year. The education.
Have you got your result yet?
Nah, that will be in July.
Still waiting game.
Still, man.
How are you, young king? How are you?
I'm very good, thank you. I'm just doing my thing, starting to get on top of it and start the work rate picking and building up again.
There we go.
Now I've had a little rest, so I'm all good. How are you guys?
Yeah, everything's good, bro. I want to go straight into Windy Grant here. Windy Grant, one of the original Therapy Army. We disagree on certain things, but she always has her opinion, and her opinion is always in a considered one, a measured one, and an educated one. So she always teaches me certain things that I don't know.
And she was on to me, man. You know what? I'm not gonna lie to her. She was on to me in that Ollie period, the Ollie era. Wendy, man. Oh my God. That was like one of them obstacles I have to get over, man. Wendy. I remember Wendy, Danny, the Devil man. Details. There was a lot of people. I think Wendy was one of them. But big up to Wendy.
Listen, trust me, Wendy was on to me about Ralph as well. Don't you worry, mate. Wendy, Wendy, we know one thing about Wendy. She don't take no prisoners. You know what I mean? And that's why I love her to bits, because like I said, people when we disagree on things, I always learn some things. But let me just read this out when Wendy says, I've worked in PR for years. I can guarantee you that Arnold, Joel Glazer, communication folks, all had the conference call to discuss the strategy to diffuse the protest outside his gap. So there we go, people. If any of you were in doubt, Windy, can you do me a favor? Can you tweet that out and quote tweet? Add me in a tweet, because I want that tweet to go viral, because some people in the fan base in Twitter need that education. Seriously, they need that education. 100%, they need that education. But anyway, CM. Anyway, I'll just go to the super chat here. Yusuf Ibrahim, thank you so much, Habibi. Arnold is playing on your naivety. The Americans' owner's way. Create false hope so you can loot the club. Yo, I don't think there's anything more to loot. By the end of the month, they're taking a bit of their dividends as well. They're taking their dividends.
That's a sweetener to the fans to say, right, we're taking your dividends, by the way.
Well. That's what this is.
No one's falling for it. We're not falling for it.
Say me ass is back. Listen, Khalees, big up Khalees, chief reporter, United Real Therapy. Guys, there's been over 190 of you, 180, 170 of you consistently. Please smash a like.
Come on, people.
I can show you it's sunny in Manchester, and I could be out there topping up this fine melanin. That's what I could be doing, people. So please smash a like. I've already looked to protect the head. I've got the hat, the shades. It's all there, people. It's all there. So I could be out there, but we're all in here talking to you about Man United. So please smash a like on the video. That's the least you could do. Yeah, the least you could do, people. But say Miasi is back once again. The Vieira player we're getting is better than De Jong at the third price. The Vieira player we're getting is better than De Jong, third of the price. Okay.
So you're getting a fraud Patrick Vieira from Portugal, pretty much. Is that what you're telling me?
Tom, for the people in the back, they didn't hear you clearly. Tell them again.
So basically, you're getting a fraud Patrick Vieira from Portugal.
Baby, you got to come better. You've got to
Vieira.
come better.
Imagine when they sing that song. We're going to sing that song anyway at Old Trafford. Vieira. Whoa. Vieira.
Oh, it gives the Giggsy the ball. And Arsenal.
Vieira.
Oh, Vieira. Oh, you give Giggsy the ball. And Arsenal. There we go. We can do that all day. Windy's just saying, Windy Grant, yep, fed straight back to them at a Zoom straight after. Of course he did. The naivety is just incredible. But big ups, Ibrahim Yusuf. Big ups, say for the super chats. Little bro, my local team have better structure than United. I don't think Little Bon United. Listen, I don't think it takes that much. Please trust me, United would have never had somebody at the pub covertly filming it. If it wasn't released by the United fan, it would have been. If they would have had someone release the video, of course they would.
We would have gone to journalists, wouldn't we? That's what it would have done.
I'm telling you, Windy, please educate the people. Educate the people. You don't understand. Man United are not here. It was a PR exercise at its best. But still, we give him certain respect because he came and faced the fans. While Ed Woodward would have been hiding when Saeed tried to holler at him. Saeed, tell him the story again.
Yeah, so basically, we was outside Burnley.
Away game, Burnley.
Away game, yeah, Burnley. And then I remember we were doing some interviews with Flex and whatnot. And then you see Ed Woodward walking past with about 5 security guards. And then we tried to approach. I remember Josh, the cameraman, tried to get the camera. And one of the security was like, back off, like basically, innit? Don't go anywhere near him. Then we tried to ask, because at that time it was January, we needed some signings. And all he did was a smile. But he had about 5 security guards around him. No word of a lie.
By the way, ex-SAS.
Yeah, of course. So for me, you know what I mean? It was absolutely crazy, man. So
you didn't want the Gary Cottrell treatment, side? Is that what you're telling me?
Sorry?
You didn't want the Gary Cottrell treatment? Is that what you're telling me?
No. You know what, man? He just was like straight out there, man. So for me, you know, you'll see that more often, man. You know, the ones, have you noticed as well, the ones that are out and about in terms of like, you'll see Brian Robson go around. You'll see Alex Ferguson, those security. But then the ones that are hiding something, they're the ones that always need security because the fan base don't like them. So we'll see.
Exactly.
We'll see, man.
Exactly. There's another Arnold quote. Big up, Khalees. Please smash a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. Please also make sure you go and watch Saeed TV Straight Jacket Podcast. Please make sure you subscribe to CM all across his social media. Man's done his degree. Just waiting for his results. He's back on it, producing A1 grade content. That's what he's doing. and he's doing very interesting. But here we go. Khalees from Medina. Arnold, do you want me buying players? Does that ring a bell? Like, he's already like, after that, he texted it. Sorry,
He's
Ed.
him under the bus. He's
Ed,
him under the bus there.
you know he's going to tell Ed, I was in front of the Wolves, mate. I had to say that, Ed. I'm sorry. Like, come on now.
I'll buy you a pint, Ed. That's what I'll do.
Exactly. So at the end of the day, it is what it is, people. It is what it is. I want to just quickly come on to, before we finish, the Glazer family will not be. Where it goes? This is Gary Neville. I think this is coming out from Gary Neville. I think interview. I'm not seeing that. Khalees, can you tell us when this interview was? Was it recently? Gary Neville. Glazer family should not be taking 11 million in dividends this Friday. It's right with an investment needed in a team in the stadium training ground. The club's cash position is low compared to previous years. An announcement is needed to hold for the next 3 years in minimum. Gary Neville. So Gary Neville is onto the minute. That's one thing, you know what, I got a big Gary Neville up for. He says they need to go and sell up the club. Gary Neville is further exposing them. The club is in like the club cash position is low compared to previous years. An announcement is needed to hold for the next 3 years, so minimum. So he's basically saying the next 3 years, if they come out and the Glaze saying, he's basically saying that they need to say we're not taking any dividends out for the next 3 years, or to 4 years or 5 years. At the end of the day, a lot of clubs, majority of Premier League, they don't take any dividends out. They don't. And Man United, they do it, and they do it quarterly as well. They don't do it just at the end of the year. They do it quarterly. So big up for Khalees for bringing us that Chief United Real Therapy reporter. So big up.
Apparently, Gary Neville's tweeted a lot as well. You know what I mean? That one that he just showed you there, he almost comes out now. I don't know what it is now. Under Ollie, there was no talk of ownership, but then all of a sudden now, in the last 2 years, when things are starting to get a bit, he's coming out of the woodwork. I don't know. Maybe he can speak about it when there's certain people that he favors, but then when he doesn't favor them, maybe he doesn't. I don't know. It's a strange one, isn't it?
Yeah. Listen, he's been there in a decade. United, Aiden. That's what he's been there. But yeah, of course, it's all to play the emotions of the fans, and that's why we're talking about the fallout. Like I said to you, it's a human thing. It's a part of the human condition. All four of us here could watch the same thing, but we'll get different perspective from what we watched. Because as viewers, somebody we're watching, but we're bringing our own values, our own culture. We're bringing all of those things into what we've seen. So I'm not on the human level blaming the fans, but those who are so naive need to just get some strong out of the fridge, innit? Take a swig, man. That's what you do. I'm not encouraging you to drink, but you need to, people. Because seriously, there's levels of naivety and there's levels, innit? There is still levels of naivety. Listen, like I said, everybody took, but the biggest thing for me, certain fans have got horrific agenda, and it brings us to our next point, have now come out and said, oh, it must be Jesse Lingard and Paul Pogba that were leaking. Paul Pogba was never the leaker, because I guarantee you, if Paul Pogba was the leaker at Man United, oh my God, that would have been out everywhere. And people like Gary Neville would have got a sniff of that, and they would have used him an absolute piece of wood to batter him with it, in terms of letting everybody know he needs to get out of the effing club and he needs to be anywhere near. So he wasn't Paul Pogba, right? You would have known that it was Paul.
Why would he need to do that anyway, Nuruddin, when he's just released a documentary about
Listen to me.
Exactly.
Because Paul Scholes threw Lingard under the bus and let it out. What Lingard told
definitely Lingard. I think it's Lingard though.
Listen, no, Said, listen. I think 100% Jesse Lingard, like United. Listen, Jesse Lingard was at the club when Paul Scholes was playing. All these people have relationships. They know each other. Like they know.
Yeah, I know.
They know each other like me and you know each other, right? So these, like Jesse Lingard, the Paul Scholes are heroes. They have their phone numbers. They speak to them. Now, Paul Scholes let it slip. He even said, soon as he said, I don't know why I told you that. But that, and
you know why it wouldn't be Pogba? You know why it wouldn't be Pogba, Nordin? Because Pogba's vilified, or is the villain. He's a media villain. So why would he go and leak out information to the media?
Exactly.
The English media. Like, that's what I didn't get. Like, why would people assume that Pogba would go and say, yeah, the British media, the ones that don't really like me, here's some information about my United. No. So for me, it's nowhere near.
And even Saeed, he didn't. You know what? He didn't want to. He didn't use Italian media, Spanish media, or French media to do that either. He didn't do it. He just didn't do it. He just said, "I want to go and leave the football club." He came out the times when he came out and spoke. He said, "I want to leave the football club," but then the Glazers kept him because he financially was bringing more for them, right? So that's where it. But those fans need to always understand that. Stop bringing your own agendas to the situation. And that separate the two. Be fair. That's all we're asking to be. Put agenda aside, be fair. The only reason why people think it was Lingard was leaking is that Lingard told Paul Scholes something in confidence. I repeat for the people at the back, in confidence. These people know each other and have relationships. Then Paul Scholes threw Jesse Lingard under the table and said, Jesse said the dressing room is horrendous. And he said, oh shit, I should not have told you that. I should not have told. Paul Scholes watched that interview. Paul Scholes straight away thinks, oh shit, I've just told you something that I was told in confidence. That is all it is. And they're using that to batter Lingard over the head. I'm not here for it. I'm not here for it. I'm not hearing it. There's no evidence. But there is evidence, people. But you don't want to know, do you? Of flipping Henderson leaking stuff to Samuel Rake's racist blockhead. That is there and everybody knows it. Those of you who know what I'm talking about. The guy that run a full agenda using that, what used to be a great newspaper, and used it as what? Used it. Now what it is, it's just a page in it. It's a page on the internet.
You know what he's done now? He's been exposed, you know, this Samuel Lucas.
Yeah,
he's been
he
exposed
has,
now.
So
old
Saeed,
tweets.
we already know the guy's agenda. So he was the guy done a whole year's campaign, tried to push Henderson to be the number one Man United, number one for England, number one for Man United, dancing for him. Forget twerking, literally giving him a belly dance and everything. Full on belly dance, full on stripper, teasing, what do you call it?
Seducing.
No, what's it called?
Seducing.
What's it called? Is it granny something? Granny, what's it called?
Granny.
When you go to these like strip things, you know what I mean? Like,
I've never been.
Listen, I've never been either. That's why I don't know what it's called. Look at CM in it. CM knows that he's not.
CM's like, no, don't
I
be
don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, it's Tom said I get it.
You know what? I'm telling you, you know what? I'm probably Tom's girlfriend is watching, and she's like, "Hey, Tom." That's why Tom's like, "Boys, I'll see you in a bit." Oh, he's back. Tom, we're just saying that. Probably your girlfriend, partner's watching, and she's like, "Better not answer that, Tom."
I don't have one, so don't have to worry about that.
It's crazy, man.
Listen, anyway, so what I'm saying to you is that there's a man that doing that, and then now we all know that he was one of the guys that was leaking. He was the guy that was doing that. We all know it. It's clear. It's simple. But they want to make an agenda. But we go to Samuel Racist Lockers. Why do I call him Samuel Racist Lockers? Because he referred to people of mixed heritage and people of black skin as exotic, like we're flipping animals. And I don't care. Do not use that language against black people or people of ethnic minorities. Do not use that, because we're not an animal. We're not a plant, mate. Simple. But anyway, let's go to his tweet. Let me just do the share, man. Let me do the share. And this is where we have to sing, people, yeah? So you're going to just follow me when I take the lead, right? In a sing-along, yeah? Because genuinely, it is laughable. It is absolutely laughable. Because here we go, people. Can you see, people? Can you see? Please let me know you can see, yeah? Can you see?
Yeah, we can see, yeah.
Right. So just join in with a chorus. We're only singing the chorus. Let it go. Let it go.
Let it go.
Let it go. Behind me, I know you're all at home. Wherever you are, sing along, man. Let it go. Let it go. Let it go.
Look what I wrote. Look what I wrote on the bottom of it. Man. I read you guys are upset.
So you said, man.
And all the top breads were like, go out with him, man. Get out of the club with him. You're on his face as well. You know what, man?
No,
it's
I
crazy.
just want to read, right? He says, if Pogba ever returns to Man UFC, he will get more stick than Di Maria and justifiably so. We're like, Okay, Samuel, calm down. Mourinho told Ashley Young on the way back from Newcastle in February 2018, Pogba was selfish. He was right. A shame Pogba divided the fan base. Some have woken up to it. Some are still in denial. You know who's in denial? You, mate, Samuel Racist Lockers. You're in denial. You can't let it go. So come on, one more time to the Piami. Join it together. Let it
go.
Let it go. Let it go. Let it go.
Let it go.
That is what you call an agenda, people. That is what you call an agenda. This is the same guy, people. The same guy who wrote an article. Literally, the headline says, Ed Woodward has left Manchester United better than he found them. We were the champions. I'll repeat to you at the back. We were the champions of England. And he said, Ed Woodward has left Man United better than he found them. After 10 years of objective failure, this is the Samuel Racist Lockers is, people. Man who refers to people of black skin as exotic. And then a couple of hours later, he removed the word from his article.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
So he gets paid to write articles. So every word, right? CM is a training journalist. Tom is a training journalist. And I asked them both, right, CM, if I go to Tom, who's practicing journalist, Tom, when you're writing an article, every word is there for a reason. Yes or no?
Yeah, of course it is. Well, I don't write them, I read them, but go on.
Yeah. So you know every word there is for a reason. Yes.
Of course you do. Yeah, every word. The way that people learn it is every word has a key to a door. That's how the saying goes with it anyway. And every word has a meaning. Otherwise, why say the word? It'd be pointless if you're not going to have a meaning for using a word.
And Tom, can you let people know as well how many other people that are checking the article?
Oh wow! Don't. I mean, you can't even put a number on how many people look at it or whatever, because you have owners, you have administrators, you have foundations, you have a PR department, you have so many people who overlook it before you can say anything.
Before you can put it out onto the website.
Of course you can, yeah. Unless you're the main sort of person, unless you're the CEO or whatever, and you can say what you want, like say what Richard Arnold did, for example, and go off your own back, then you do what you want. But because you've not got anybody ahead of you, but if you've got people around you or whatever, then it's you're being constrained with what you can and cannot say. At the end of the day, it's only like with what they did with Ralph, did they not? When he was in charge, they put a gag over him after the first press conference, where he was coming out and saying stuff like, "I don't know what Darren Fletcher does at the football club." So then they just basically, it might as well have not been able to talk. You might as well, magically Harry Potter style, right? You can't speak, and then and then now you look at it, Ralph's been exiled out of the football club. But anyway, even with the Samuel Luckhurst thing, he's ruined himself. I'll guarantee you that for anybody who wants to know everything, he's completely ruined his whole journalistic career. He won't be on mainstream television or media or anything like that, where his stories are getting record sellings or he's getting record views or anything like that.
But for the club, though, isn't it? Because of the fact that he said about
that is it. The club basically employ him. They give him the words to put out there. Therefore, they might as well pay him because he's a club journalist. They might as well just pay him. If you're just going to give him the words there to work for, and that's why I said to you guys on that first press conference that we spoke about with Ten Hag, I want him. He's a person who's going to make journalists work for his answers. He's not just going to give you it. You're going to work to earn your money. I'm not giving you anything. No freebies, no handouts, no nothing. You earn it.
Tom. Listen, exactly, Tom. CM.
Somebody said about Harry Pinero as well when he referred to Harry Pinero.
Oh
as
man,
some guy and whatnot, and
I know about that as well.
Yeah, there's loads of situations where he's just so narcissistic as well. But yeah, sorry, go on.
Yeah, listen, CM. What do you think about this? What do you think about this agenda? This Samuel Luckhurst, bro. Talk to me.
It's shocking, to be honest, because you look at a guy who he's a public figure. people look at him, you know, as a journalist. People
He's a
look
senior
at you
journalist at covers Man United. He's a senior journalist.
People look at you for factual information, and here you can see, and it's not just this tweet. I've seen so many tweets within the last year or so that are emotionally charged, if anything, and you can just tell that, you know, one thing I'll say about Manchester United is they're masters of crisis management. So anytime you see stuff like this, you can tell the club have something to do with it. And, you know, the way they are calculated with the certain players that they choose to target, same with the media as well, it's disgraceful. And it's something that, to be honest, the English media won't pick up. But, you know, people like us four have to speak about, because in the end of the day, certain players are being targeted by the football club. There are so many players last season alone who could have been criticized, but it's always the same ones. It's always the same ones. And when we're looking at journalists like this who play a part in manipulating the fan base and then getting them to do the same, slate certain players, rather than looking at it as a whole thing, as a whole club together, they are as much to blame. So stuff like this, just there's no place in it. In the world, forget football, in the world, there's no place for this kind of stuff at all.
Absolutely.
Exactly. Listen, it's simple, innit? Look, Saeed's tweet is getting it's getting likes, mate. There's so many people liking it. But then the top Reddits are coming out for Saeed, innit? It was all. Listen, I always say this, innit? Manchester United fan base, when the club's toxic because there's no accountability, the owners are toxic, the board is toxic. That's what it's been. That's been the evidence. We're all near and can see it. But because they can't get at the board, they can't get at the owners. What do? The Man United fan base, those of us who would love a scapegoat, and they love somebody's savior. That's why I always tell you, Man United fan base love a savior, and they love a scapegoat. Okay, so now that's what that is. And Saeed's pointing out, hey, Saying Miyasi is back with another. Big up Saying Miyasi with another super chat. You're getting Spurs reject. Have fun with McFred. Now, you see, when you said the first part, that don't trigger me. But the second part, I'm not going to lie to you, saying that triggers.
I think the first part triggers me as well.
No, the first part don't trigger me that but it's just that I wanted Ericsson. Saeed, because you know what? I always say I'm open and honest in it. I've got trauma. I've got trauma about what? I've got trauma about over the hill footballers coming to end up their boots. Yes, Simmer Frame FC coming, and that's why I coined the phrase Simmer Frame FC. So
Man United tax as well. Man United tax.
Listen, and I'm happy. Yeah, I'm happy to be proven wrong by Ericsson. I actually love him. I remember watching him 8 years ago at Old Trafford and going, "Oh my God, this guy is incredible. Can we not get him?" I remember watching him and just being breathtakingly like, "Wow, look at this guy." So I'm happy to have him, and I also know that it's not just me, but huge sections of the detractors of Bruno want him as well. So it's going to be very interesting. But big up CM. CM is just going to start his journalistic career. And CM, this is a lesson, in it? That when you bring there's your opinion and there's things, and then there's agenda. Yeah. Like this guy here, I'm just thinking, you know what? When you're in bed with your family, you're chilling, he's still thinking about Pogba. You know what, Pogba's opened up a barber. Pogba's opened up a couple of bars, even though he don't drink. Pogba's opened up a strip joint, even though he doesn't go to strip joints, inside Samuel Lekes's head.
Yeah. And then you got people from TalkSport saying, why is he making a documentary? You know, do people make documentaries because they want to prove to you why they're a good human being? No. They're making it for themselves, and they're trying to document it for other people to understand their way of life and how they grew up. It doesn't, you know, just because you had a bad career, you know what I mean? You can still do a good documentary. And he's actually won things in big things, man. Multiple Serie A winner.
He's got a big story to tell. Yeah.
You're big up Windy again. Windy's like Lockers might be angling for United hire him as the PR person in the club. He will make lots of money, just like Neil Ashton, innit?
Could you imagine?
Neil Ashton better watch out. Samuel raises Lockers is coming for your job. That's what it is. But listen, big up to every. This is it, and Super Nick just says it there. You know, she just sits it there, fully on the payroll, mate. We talk about that people like he's on the absolute payroll. Masters of manipulation. There we go with Khalis Ramilasi. Listen, I think we've covered it all. The only thing I would say on the transfer is I am the chairman, the founding member, the director, the CEO, the general, the captain of Wait and CFC.
There we go. There we go.
So please,
CFC.
I beg you, please do not get clickbaited, people. Do not get clickbaited. The scapegoat, Richard, is anybody that the fans deem it and the club PR pushes to scapegoat. So at the moment, it's Pogba because he made a documentary. That's what it is. And now he asked for all this money. No, he didn't. No, he didn't. So all been taken out of context. All of it being misrepresented. I've done a full lengthy video. Those of you who are interested, I talked about him and Lingard in a full, and I went forensically through the timeline. And I didn't absolve him on any responsibility on his behalf, on his performances, but I gave you the full picture. Now you can take it however you want to take it. But the idea that everything was Paul Pogba's fault. And now Richard Alwood, it was all Ed Woodward. It had nothing to do with me.
That just shows you.
I was on the board. Even though
lack of accountability, that's all that is. Lack of accountability.
Yeah.
That's what it is. Listen, we can go and do this, but I need to try to get the sunshine out there, people. I need to get out.
Get out, Lauren. Get out.
I'm telling you now, I'm evicting myself in it. You know, like the Fisher Prince. You know what I mean? I don't need Uncle Phil.
Get out.
Uncle Phil to myself in it. You know what? When Jesse gets thrown out all the time, that's my favorite episodes. In it, when you knew Uncle Phil's face, and all you heard is Jesse Jeff. Because you know what, the sun don't shine that often in Manchester, people. I can't tell you. When there's a little bit, it could be like the temperature could be 6 or 7 in Manchester. Most Mancunians is well known. Get that short, son. Flip flops out. Short out.
I'm telling you,
it's not that bad. It's quite warm, innit? And you're like, bloody hell, it's freezing. As soon as we get a little bit of sunshine, man,
we get giddy.
Trust me. We go giddy overdrive. Trust me. So that's what we're going to do. But before we do that, first I'm going to remind you all to make sure you go on, subscribe to Saeed TV, Road to 100K. Make sure you watch the podcast if you've not already watched it. Those of you who are coming in from work a bit later, go on. But most importantly, when you go to that, smash a like. It costs you absolutely nothing. If you're new to this channel, please subscribe. Please like the video. It boosts the algorithms. When you're a small channel on YouTube, like Therapy Army channel is, you don't gonna get more viewers because the algorithms, what they've done in YouTube. If me and Saeed were on YouTube 10 years ago, 15 years ago, it'd be different. Most people would see that. We just have to put the hashtags on the videos, and majority will see it. Now it's no longer a democracy. They favor the bigger channels, but we don't clickbait. We talk about open and authentically, people. We are ourselves. So I will say CM will be back. Saeed will be back. Tom Journalist will be back. But we will do another show when we talk about the expectation for the season. But
absolutely,
CM, let the people know where they can find you.
A big up Therapy Army. Thank you for the invite as always, Nuruddin. CM22ENT on YouTube, Twitch, and all socials.
Yeah, man. So you're watching the basketball season come to an end, or is it still going on?
Yeah, it's finished. So Golden State. Golden State were the champions.
Did you predict that?
No, I actually didn't.
Were they a surprise winner? Yeah.
For me, yeah, because they, especially at the start of the season and going on, a lot of people said, you know, they may have been, you know, maybe contending to get to the conference finals or the second round, but to get to the championship and win it all, yeah, they done a very brilliant job. And even in the final,
where are they? Golden State. Where are they? Where are they?
San Francisco.
San Francisco.
Oh,
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
San Francisco, eh? Anyway, big up CM. Follow him on all of Tom Journalist. Want to let them know where they can find you?
Yeah, Tom Journalist 1 on Twitter, and love as always, people. And come on, let's Support the channel and everything. Get the likes up, people, in the comment section.
Absolutely, man.
On your way
Amazing.
out.
And
Go and give a subscribe and everything. Same
Yeah,
for Saeed's
Saeed
show.
TV. Yeah, absolutely, man. Just keep supporting everyone, people. And yeah, man, we'll just try and give you the good content. Hopefully, I always say, man, hopefully next week, we've got something to talk about. You know what I mean? And we can welcome a signing. Let's hope. But each week keeps going past, man.
Like I said, I've already got the shades, the wear. I just need that cigar in it to celebrate the first one, in it. So that's all. That's all, people. But Therapy Army, most of all, Therapy Army, you're always the best in it. Like I always say, Therapy Army are the best for me because you give me the biggest jokes. And like I can go Logan, I can go Riley, Reynolds, Alex, I can go like all of the names, Super Nick, Windy, all of them people, Kelly's, you know what I mean, Casbig, you know what, everybody. But
everyone.
I want to big up this Arsenal brother here. Nuruddin, Ian Wright was right, try to shame people criticizing in Kentia. Then all the big fan accounts on Twitter call him a hero. Our clubs are people who think they're the gatekeepers who actually, when actually we're all equal. By the way, American Arsenal fan put a thing up earlier. He wants to work in sport media. And I'm like, you know what, American Arsenal fan, chase your dreams, man. If you need to come to this country to be part of the football culture and the communication, all you need to do is don't be a Samuel Luckhurst. All right?
Yeah.
All kids out there, when you grow up, don't be a Samuel Luckhurst.
He's not your role model.
He's not your role model. If you want to work in sport media, he's not your role model. But anyway, listen, less of the hate, more of the love. Listen, there he says, little Bungie guy. I hate the ball so much. I think that frustration is there for everybody to see. But anyway, Therapy Army, the best audience on YouTube, man, for me anyway. Part of the always, it's always love and light and respect. But before we go, we always say, Glazers out.
Glazers out.
Bankers out.
There we go.
Enjoy your summer wherever you are. Wherever you are. Enjoy your lovely evening, people, wherever you are, whatever you're doing. Big up Super Nick. I hope you're taking in the shade, sis. I hope you are getting that little bit of top up on that melanin in there, that the shine in there, that shine, that vitamin D that we need so badly. Love, light, respect, people. Peace, and we're out.